Yes, I'm using my kitten Bonbon as a prop for my intro and thumbnail. What about it? He's cute and tiny and adorable and the same color as the cat in the Argylle marketing. I feel like it was fate or serendipity or kismet that we got our new cat just days before Argylle came out. It's what the universe wants for me to show off my beautiful kitty. Alright baby, I'm putting you down now. Hey up everyone, so as you probably already sussed, today's movie I'm going to be discussing on the channel is the latest film from Matthew Vaughn. Yep, today I'm talking about Argylle. Meow. There's been a lot of talk about this film on social media. A lot of pessimistic people saying how bad this film was going to be before they even saw it. But I'm going to say, I was actually one of the people that was kind of buzzing for this film. Have you ever looked at a film's cast and gone, this feels like it was engineered in a lab specifically just for me? I mean, any film that looks like a fun popcorn action spy movie that features Bryan Cranston, Samuel L. Jackson, Catherine O'Hara, Dua Lipa, and cute Scottish fold cats, I'm there for. Like, sold. Shut up and take my money. Admittedly, I did think looking at the trailer that it did look a little bit trashy, or that had the potential to be hot garbage, so I was kind of going in expecting to be disappointed, but much to my surprise, I ended up having a blast watching Argylle. Sure, it's not without its faults, but did I have a good time watching it? You betcha. The plot of Argylle is centered around acclaimed novelist Ellie Conway, who's played in this film by Bryce Dallas Howard. She writes these popular spy novels centered around this fictional character called Argylle, who in Ellie's head looks like Henry Cavill with a blockhead haircut. But Ellie soon finds that her life is imitating her art when she and her cute, adorable cat Alfie are dragged into a high-stakes game of intrigue, survival, and espionage with a real-life spy called Aiden, who's played by Sam Rockwell. Basically, the events that Ellie wrote as fiction in her books turn out to be true, so Aiden believes that Ellie is the key to taking down this shady organization known as the Division, which is led by Bryan Cranston's character. This is definitely one of those leave your brain at the door type of romps, okay? But what surprised me about Argylle was how it somehow manages to be both dumb, but also kind of smart at the same time. Because this is a convoluted, silly spy movie with purposely cheesy dialogue and preposterous plot conveniences, but it knows it. It's very self-aware, it's not taking itself seriously, and the audience isn't supposed to take it as serious. But what was surprising about Argylle for me was how many times it actually did manage to surprise me. It subverted my expectations multiple times, and guess what? It takes intelligence to do that, like to lead an audience one way and then completely defy their expectations. In my screening, there was more than one occasion where the audience gasped at a revelation. This film isn't as straightforward as the trailer makes it look. Okay, the plot zigs and zags all over the place. I think most people are just gonna look at this film and dismiss it as a dumb spy movie. And you know what? It is that, but once you look beneath the surface, there is actually some smart subtext in here about the writer's process. Okay, for anyone that's ever written anything, this film does explore writing about what you know, writer's block, art imitating life, and vice versa, and also finding wish fulfillment in your characters. I do think it bites off a little bit more than it can chew. I think some of the ideas could have been explored a bit deeper. But I do want to give credit to Matthew Vaughn and screenwriter Jason Fuchs because Argylle is deceptively ambitious in terms of the ideas it's addressing. It's packaged as something silly and explosive and fun. So yeah, it's easily marketable to a wide audience, if that makes sense. But like I said, once you look beneath the surface of Argylle, there is actually some substance there. It's just easy to miss because of how convoluted the plot actually is. Because this film is like a story within a story within a story, if that makes any sense. Watch it and you'll see what I mean. What else did I like about this movie then? I did enjoy the performances in this. You could tell everybody was on board for a good time making this film with Matthew Vaughn, and everybody leans into the absurdity. It's always a treat for me to see Bryan Cranston and Catherine O'Hara in anything, so to see them here together in this movie was a real joy for me. Sam Rockwell is always reliable. I don't actually know if I've seen him in an action movie before, but I thought he was awesome as Aiden. But it is Bryce Dallas Howard as Ellie Conway who gives the best performance in this film, because there is a lot for her to work with here as Ellie. Let's just say that. Her character goes through this wild journey, but the amazing thing about it is that despite the ridiculousness of the plot, There wasn't a single moment where I didn't believe that's how Ellie would react or feel in any particular moment. Like, Bryce Dallas Howard sells it all so convincingly. When she's scared, you feel that she's scared. When she's feeling tough, you feel that she's tough, okay? Like, she is so effortlessly convincing in the role despite what's being asked of her. That's how good Bryce Dallas Howard is here. Like, I think she's genuinely an underrated talent. Like, she can do it all. And it might sound silly, but this might be the best performance I've seen from Bryce Dallas Howard. Well, the best film performance I've seen. I still think her performance in Black Mirror Nosedive is like top tier Bryce Dallas Howard. But yeah, she truly is remarkable in this film. As for negatives, I do think this film is too long, okay? It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like I said, the script really does try to pack a lot in, and it does feel a bit overstuffed. This is like the definition of a nitpick, but there is one glaring continuity issue that just bothered me so much, and it involves a character sliding on their knees in like a puddle of oil, and when they get back up, there's literally not a drop of oil on their knees, and I'm just like, it's a nitpick, but it's just so obvious. I couldn't be the only one that spotted that. There's also a lot of noticeably bad CGI in this film too. Just green screen to film, and it makes the film look so artificial. Also, I know I said this film knows that it's being stupid, but that doesn't excuse lazy dialogue where you have characters pointing out how stupid something is. It doesn't shield you from criticism having your characters say something is stupid first. One time is fine, but when it happens repeatedly, it just amplifies the issue. All right then, let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yes, I would. I even think I would actually add Argylle to my collection. I had a jolly fun time with it. Plus, I do think it is a film that will improve on multiple watches because of all the foreshadowing and clues hidden in plain sight that you don't really catch on the first viewing. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? I know this film isn't going to be for everybody. Like, the first reactions and reviews of this film have been very divisive. I do recommend this film if you're a fan of Matthew Vaughn's films, like The Kingsman or Kick-Ass. It's very much in the same vein as those movies. Argylle is a wild ride with lots of bonkers and colourful action set pieces, a very lovable cast, and a funky soundtrack, as well as a few unexpected needle drops here or there. At one point in the screening, I turned to my friend Dan and said, "Is that Leona Lewis?" So yeah, obviously this isn't one of those film for thought movies, okay? This is not an intellectual think piece, all right? It's a film purely made to entertain, and that's what it does. So yeah, if you just want to watch a movie where you can turn your brain off and have fun, then this is the movie for you. Do see it in a cinema if you can, like watching it with friends or in a crowd definitely made the experience more enjoyable. So yeah, that's my recommendation. And third question, what score to give out of 10? I don't think that Argylle is as good as Matthew Vaughn's other films like The Kingsman or Kick-Ass, but I do think it has a lot more going for it than what you see in the marketing. There were more layers to Argylle than I initially expected. It's subversive, it's sexy, it's silly, and it has some clever subtext as well, which I did not expect. I do think it needs some more refining, some sanding down of the rougher edges, a little bit of trimming down, but overall, I still had a good time, and I am in the camp where I would be more than happy to see an Argylle sequel or prequel someday. So yeah, I'm gonna give Argylle a score of 7.5 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. Love to hear from you. Have you seen Argylle? If you have, what do you make of this movie? Whatever you have to say, let me know in that comment section down below. If you have enjoyed the video, help me out with a little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Harefield, and I'll see you next time.